So first of all, thank you for finding the time.
Thank you.
I realize you're busy, and I always expect well-known fighters like yourself that you have so many interviews that eventually probably just gets, boring. And
Not boring. It's part of the job, but maybe I'm too focused at the moment. That when you come to the gym, in your mind you're just I want to work, and everything else comes afterwards. So
I know how that feels. For me, like I make videos for my YouTube channel, and being here, some of my viewers are upset because I don't make many videos because I'm so focused on the training that I don't really want to look at anything else. So I can relate to that.
okay, thank you.
But I won't take much time anyway. But so even more so, I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you.
So the first question I want to ask is if you could briefly describe your martial arts journey. Where did it start?
Fast way to say that or answer to that question is I started wrestling when I was in the age of 5 and tried boxing, but didn't have enough time when I had my school from 8 to 4, and then I could do only one session a day. But 2010 I went to try MMA for the first time. After first class I broke my I got caught with the heel hook. Yes, and the guy went all the way to the end, and that was crazy. But in the other hand, that was one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to come back and show myself and the people who doubted me. But it was a kind of a motivation, even though it was a bad motivation. But to me, it was something that I was like, this can't stop me.
Yeah.
This is just one of those days that, everything is going not in the right way, and eventually I know that there will be if I just keep grinding, I will find my goal and be what I want to be when I'm at my best.
Yeah, that fascinates me because I'm always very inspired by the whole concept of like what John speaks as well, like win or learn, that losing or having setbacks is actually beneficial in the long run. So
even in the normal life, it's one of those things that makes you mentally like stronger, and I had the loads of those, and so basically from now on everything is fun, everything is, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. It's not I'm in a point that I don't need to do I don't need to go to school, I don't need to work anywhere else than here. So but even though it might sound that I'm training like few hours in a day and then I'm resting the rest of the day, but no, when I wake up 6 a.m. I'm awake till 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, but only because of this sport, because of my career, and because of my next fight. So it's a long I spend long days in the work, so it's not something that that I have done the work already. I think now it's everything is just starting.
That's a good way of looking at it. And you're waking up at 6 a.m. every morning?
Yes, I go for a run 6 o'clock, be at home 7 o'clock. By 8 I have eaten my porridge. I should be at the gym 10 o'clock. And when it gets closer to the fight, I like to, relax more. But I think this is my style to build myself up to the fight, do things in a way that you don't think that any other fighter is doing it at the moment. Everything, what I eat, how I sleep, when I wake up, how do I train, everything is, so It's on the paper, everything. I write down everything.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So,
One of the things, for a long time I was very interested to try to figure out what makes the best the best. And one of the answers I found is that they're always focused on the objective. Like if it's fighting, then it's even like, and that sounds like you as well. Even when you're resting, it seems it's part of the training. It's not like I trained and I just forget about it, but it's like what you eat and what you do like after. It's just everything seems like it's part of it.
is like when I heard some, in some interviews that somebody spend loads of money to their camp, or I don't know who was the boxer who spent like $1 million in a year for just his body, to take care of his body. And I was thinking first that how can you what did he do? But now when I see myself, if I want to eat the best food that there is available, sleep in the best bed and get the massage and go to sauna, relax, train hard with good gears. Yeah, you can spend that. That's investing to yourself. I'm the company, I'm the owner, and I'm investing on myself. And I didn't thought about this before. It was like I'd rather spend the money on something much more useless things than myself, and I had to learn the hard way, but at least I learned, and now I feel much better because it's like being a F1 driver, and everything from your engine. So that's how I'm thinking. I want to know what I have been eating, because every meal that I eat, I cook it myself. Every meal. And I spend in the kitchen like 4 hours in a day.
Every day?
Every day. Don't have a microwave, and everything is organic. That's one thing that I made a change for this camp. I just wanted to, eat the healthy stuff and do smoothies, and I have a juicer now in my kitchen, so I make like in the mornings ginger shots and stuff like this. So I'm changing a lot of things to this fight, and I think it will be the difference will be huge, because I see the results, my teammates sees them, and my coach and everybody is like, there will be a good show in New York.
Well, I'm interested to ask, because at your level of fighting, I see oftentimes fighters hire special cooks, but did you ever consider that, or you think you want to really do it all yourself and you don't want to pass it on to others?
No, because I love cooking. That's one of my passion. MMA, and then comes fishing. And so these are three things. Even though some people might think that when I'm in training, when it's MMA and there is striking and everything, but still I like to, when I come here, I'm really calm and relaxed, and same thing with when I'm cooking, and exactly same thing when I'm fishing. So basically, even though they are three totally different things, but to me they are all same. It's same mentality when I come here or planning to cook something. So, and I'm really like, if I cook, I'm actually like next to my food or whatever I'm planning to do. I'm next to that. I'm watching it constantly. So I'm not making any just simple things. I like make. I have a lot of recipes from my mom, and love to watch like TV series about food and stuff like this. So.
Do you know the term foodie? Have you heard it? It's like, when I was in the States, it's a popular term these days. Foodie is a person who loves food and loves good food. So I imagine you'd fit into that description.
Maybe, one thing is nice, because when I cook, like I told you, everything is healthy, organic and stuff. So basically, if my friends ask me to go out here to eat somewhere, and I'm like, I still want to eat my own food because I know what I'm eating. So basically, I have to invite my friends to my place and cook for them.
I was about to ask whether you like to go out to quality. If you like to go out to special places like quality restaurants which make good food, or you seem like you prefer your own food even up than that.
It depends. If it's a 5-star restaurant, and it's I know that I will ask. It's not stupid to ask. If you get what they tell you that there is, so if that satisfies you, then I don't mind eating, outside. But let's say that that's not a problem, me to eat outside. The problem is to get myself to the restaurant. Do you understand? That time when I'm spending, to me, traveling somewhere, being somewhere, enjoying that, time that I could be at home, relax, eat food, watch documentaries about aliens or something. Yeah, that's what I love to watch.
Aliens. Did you see one of the latest Joe Rogan podcasts about the one with the scientist who, you obviously saw it.
What was that?
Yeah. Did you like that one?
Yeah. Well, I'm not too serious about them, but let's say that there has been definitely there has been another civilization before us, and this is what I'm interested about. How the hell they made pyramids and stuff. Not about conspiracy things, but more like, that's a wonder. So fascinates me in a crazy way.
Would you say that's your main hobby and interest?
Yeah. And I'm, like I said, I'm in love with this process. To see how good I can get if I'm fully focused on me, my mind, and my body. You understand? If we all work together, I think I could fight a decade. 10 years from now, I could still fight if I look after myself the way I do it at the moment. So that's something that interests me, to see like what kind of a machine I can build, because I don't see a limit. As long as you have enough of recovery and good nutrition, feel like unstoppable. That's what I feel. So we had training session, so we had to...
Right. We had to cut the conversation so we can continue. You mentioned the most important thing is to be happy.
Definitely, and calm. I think your whatever is going through your mind, it's easier to solve them. And so if I'm in the middle of the fight and I'm happy, I'm relaxed, there are no distractions in my mind. Do you understand what I mean? Yeah. So it's easier to me to react and think when there's only one thing that I'm thinking about. There are not things in my mind, bothering me. So it's easier and faster, and smooth is fast. Yeah.
That actually brings up a question, a subject that I'm very interested in, is also the mental preparation for a fight. And one of the advice I received lately, and talking to one of the fighters, was to. So when I think about, I had only one fight. I'm going to have a second one soon enough. But when I think about the first fight, there's the adrenaline, I guess, or that the stomach starts to turn, and there's a sense of that, I guess, intimidation or whatever that is. But part of me wanted to push that away, to try to suppress it and to not feel it. But the fighter said that it's a good idea before the fight, even when training, to let yourself feel that and to get used to that, to be comfortable in that. So what's your approach? What do you think? Or
Well, I think that good question. I think that it's your second fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
So it doesn't matter where is the fight and who you are going to face, but since it's the beginning of your career, everything is exciting, everything is new, so it's okay, it's normal to react that way, that you're excited and everything. But since, like, if I can talk behalf of myself, I think this way. I don't make a big deal out of my fights, you know. Maybe in the media and social media and stuff, I do.
Yeah.
But in the end, I'm not the middle of the universe, and tomorrow is a new day. There will always be new things happening in this world. So, you know, I try to just enjoy the moment that I'm in at that moment, you know. Take everything what you're, you know, experiencing. Just love the moment, enjoy, and result will be whatever it will be. But at least you were there, you enjoy it, and you were happy when you were doing it. This works with me. I don't want to make a big deal out of my fights, because I think that's like building a pressure to yourself. You understand? It's like a trash talk.
Yeah.
You build a pressure to yourself, but if you can be strong enough to control that pressure, you know, to understand that this pressure tomorrow is gone, you know, when the fight is over, everything is behind. Whatever will happen in a fight, however it will go, you can have the fastest knockout, or they can knock you out the fastest way that you have ever experienced, but still tomorrow it will be history. So that's why I'm like, until it's a title fight or something, I'm thinking this way. I don't mind my fights, you know. I go there and do my thing, and that's it. If it's enough, it's enough. But I'm not losing my dreams because of my fights, you know. Like in a fight day, I sleep 10 hours in the fight day. So I sleep 8 hours, and then I have 2 hours nap. And friends of mine are like, "You're not excited? Like how can you sleep that much?" And I'm like, I don't get it. Like I understand. Like it's a fight and people are watching, and I had 6 of these UFC fights already, and nobody's talking about my, you know, what happened. They are focusing on the future. So I'm like, even the future is coming. When it happens, then it's a past again. So I'm not, you know, too. I don't know how to say it. Like, just don't make a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. We have been here for how long? I mean, humans, what kind of history we have, and there will be plenty in front of us. So this is just entertainment for the people. So enjoy it, be an entertainer, and if you are good at something, go there and do your performance and enjoy having that chance to, you know, to get that stage and show them what you're good at.
so in a way, you mentioned that it's very important for you to stay happy during preparation for a fight. So it sounds like the same as for a fight. That's an element you want to make sure that.
When I was a kid, and I had an exam in school. When I studied and I was sure that this exam will go well, and I went there and I got a good number, so I came home and I was like, I wanted to show it to my parents right away. Same thing with MMA or fighting or sports. You have done your work. You know that if you have done your work and you're satisfied with your work and you know you're good, you just go there and you enjoy the exam, and you come back and you're happy to, happy to go there and do the exam. But when you're like the mind that you're like whatever you're thinking about your second fight, the feeling can get better by how you focus to your fight, how you train, and how you prepare yourself for this fight, and less stress, more success. And I think that you should be that kid who is, ready to go to that exam because he knows he has done the work, and you come home and you're proud that you were there, you did the job. So that's how I think about my fights. We have a family, like a group conversation in Facebook with my family, and whenever it gets close to my fights, my whole entire family are like, they don't feel well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they don't feel well. Their stomach is like loose. They are so excited. I'm like, chill, relax.
So you're the most relaxed.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
One thing that I wanted to ask you, and I won't go too much into your fights specifically, but there's that famous moment of you having one of the quickest knockouts.
Yeah.
How was that for you? What state were you in, or was that part of your plan, that flying knee, or can you tell a little bit about what happened that night?
That was great night. I remember, Musasi, for example.
Yeah.
He's the opposite of me. Well, he's also like calm, but I'm calm too. But when it gets too close to my fight, I get really active, and I'm like constantly moving and doing shadow boxing, and I'm in the zone.
Yeah.
Like a few days before the fight already, I'm like pumped. I'm just so excited. I feel fast, I feel sharp. I want to go there already. But Musasi was like in that Stockholm fight, he was in the same locker room, and he was like the end can't be, either they will knock me out badly or I will do something crazy. This is how he was thinking, because in the locker room I was listening to music, I was dancing, I was moving constantly. I was so happy, and then I had Gustafsson also in my locker room with me, and everybody was so serious, and I was like happy and everything. Then I go there in 7 seconds, 8 seconds, and I come back, and they were like, I was so happy. And like to that Stockholm fight, I was 2 months in the gym, like in my friend's gym. I was living upstairs, and I remember he had like this, not an oven, but what do you call that where you make food on?
A stove, I guess? Oh, I'm not sure.
Like, yeah. Well, whenever I had this really small, I borrowed from my friend, and I was cooking there for 2 months, rice and tuna fish.
Okay.
And when I had that fight, and I was saying to myself, please, God, let me just enjoy even one win in the UFC. Let me enjoy that one win. There has been a lot of talking, behind this fight. They said that I'm not, the guy who should be here. There are better fighters and stuff like that, and I was like, please, I want to enjoy that one fight. Then when I won that fight in
seconds.
Yeah, I was so happy, and the relief and everything, but I never felt that. I never had, money and stuff like that, and suddenly everything, came. It was a life-changing, but it brought at the same time a lot of attention, and attention brought a lot of, well, I say the people who gave me a good lesson. Let's say this way, you know. Suddenly everybody was my friend. So in the other hand, it was a good thing they were teaching me, because in the 4 years now I know that the only thing that I'm focusing at the moment is myself. But that fight in Stockholm brought all this around me, so then that kind of taught me in a good way. You understand what I mean?
I think it is.
Yeah, so it was even though it was perfect, like, even for me, the fight went like, it couldn't go, you know, better. Let's say like this. I got the bonus and everything. It was close to my own country, Finland, and it was, you know, a lot of people were watching, and there was 30,000 people watching, and being on the same card with those legends, it was so, you know, everything was like a great story. And like I said, all that people can see was nice, but after that I experienced it a lot. So a lot of people, a lot of, you know, girls and all this, you know, came along, and that slowed me down a bit. I was still training hard and everything, but I think that was the real, like, let's say somebody planned all this to me to experience that and be ready on this New York card.
Yeah.
You know, that I have now, let's say I won, but now I'm prepared for what happens after I have won. You understand? I'm not anymore like, I wish I win. I will win. This is for sure, and I will win against every opponent that I will fight from now on. This is my word. If I don't take that belt by the end of 2020, you can call me a liar. Okay? This is my word. And yeah, I'm ready to win. You understand? I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever it brings, because I know that I just signed the 4 fight contracts again with UFC, and I know that I will beat them all. I will beat these 4 fighters, and I know that these wins will bring even more attention, even more distractions and everything. But I'm not into that anymore. I want to fight. You know, I want to live like an athlete. That's what I want at the moment.
What would you say made you realize how to break away from all of that attention? Like, was there a pivotal point, or?
No, I went up, came back down. That's it. But I wasn't I wasn't an asshole to nobody. Opposite. That's the thing. I wish I had been a bit cocky and a bit selfish, but I wasn't. That's the problem. Because I wasn't like that. I was always happy to, you know, share my experience, and whatever I was doing, I always wanted my friends to experience same, my family and friends and everything, and girlfriend and everything. Didn't thought about myself that much, you know. But then I lost to Arnold Allen, and the hype kind of disappeared. But I didn't train seriously, so I lost to a prospect featherweight fighter with shitty condition. Didn't train that well. The whole fight camp I run like 5 times. The whole fight camp I run 11 times in a week at the moment. And when I think about the defense, I was a kid back then. I was just a child. I didn't, you know, respect my work. I didn't, you know, pay attention the way I should, because this is my job, and if I don't want to go and do another job, I should, you know, be here working. And didn't realize this until kind of everything disappeared and I was alone again, and then I had time to think, and I said I'm gonna go to Ireland. And every time I'm in Ireland, I have friends here. I have loads of friends. I mean, friends from the gym, but But I like to spend a lot of times by my own, because when I'm alone, I'm thinking more. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm thinking constantly, what's next, Makwan? What we gonna do next? And always, have my mind in this game. And now I'm selfish. Now I'm really selfish. I don't. I know that I will be selfish like this for a few more years to reach my goals, and then again, maybe start a family and stuff like that. But at the moment, I want to be the complete fighter in the world, and I know that this is possible in only one way, if I give enough work to this, whatever I'm doing now. So nothing comes for free, but it ain't easy, like John Kavanagh said, but it's worth it. And I'm ready to take that task, so I'm excited to see what's happening.
You mentioned hard work a lot, and the question comes from a conversation I had with John Kavanagh as well, where I asked him, we spoke about talent, and he has a theory that talent doesn't exist. Do you agree with that as well? It's all about hard work?
Some body types are good to something, you understand? Right. That's always, you can't take that away, but I think still to get that talent, you have to work for it. Yeah. And even if you get something for free, it's not, you won't respect that talent the same way that you have worked for it. You understand? Somebody can be naturally okay wrestler, and some people can be okay striker naturally. But if we put a person here who has this so-called talent, okay? So he has already what this guy is training to have. Yeah. And this guy is actually training harder, because he has to train harder to keep up with this guy. Yeah. And this guy he has in his bones that he has this talent, you understand? So that makes him a bit lazy, you understand? Yeah. And this guy who has been working hard constantly, eventually he will go above this person, because he is used to work hard. And once you get older, you understand it's not about, there is no easy way. It's always about hard work and how much you dedicate yourself to this. And this guy has it now. He grown and he knows what to do. He knows that he can grind. He knows that he can work day and mornings and days and nights. Doesn't matter. He can work hours. But this guy, he relied on his talent. So he becomes a bit late. I'm a good example of this. I'm a perfect example. So let me tell you something. When I was a kid, I wasn't a good wrestler, but I was a counter wrestler. So basically, I was waiting to my opponents to do a mistake, and they will have to pay for that. So this made me a relaxed, calm, a guy that was relying only on the technique and timing. I wasn't working that hard. Then I got to the UFC, and actually when I came to the island, then I saw guys doing positional training here at 5x5 rounds with small, light striking. I was like, I'm not used to this. Then that's why I had so many first round finishes. And I lost to Arnold Allen, then everything changed. Then I said, so far I came here with my talent, but I know how to work hard. I've been in the national team of wrestling, and if somebody knows wrestling ain't easy, and I haven't got all this what I have without training hard. But still, my style was, the waiting, and then boom. But now, if I see the opportunity, I'm not hesitating to go, because before I was more like, should I sacrifice all this energy and stuff to get this submission or this stoppage? But now I'm like, I don't care, because I know I got the cardio. Like I said, I'm running constantly. All I pay attention is my body and my mind to work together. And I know that 1 round, 2 rounds, 5 rounds, I can go. That doesn't matter. I'm in a shape that everything suits me now. But what comes to the talent, that's what I think. I think if you are a kid and everybody says you're good, you become a bit lazy. And the guy who was, always the guy who they didn't pay attention, he has this not an anger, but the willingness inside of him or her to show that by the hard work he can get what this guy has, and even bigger than this. Yeah. So this is how I think about talent. There is no talent that somebody just learns. You can be good at something, but still, especially if we are talking about MMA, what is so there is wrestling, grappling, everything in it. So where you are good at, how big is your talent? You may be a good striker, but what about the wrestling? Yeah. Maybe a good wrestler, what about your other parts? So that's how I think.
And in regards to being happy during training, do you have days when you don't feel as motivated? And during those days, do you still push it? Or do you let yourself take it easier? Like, how do you balance that motivation? If that's an okay question.
No. I had a really silly answer, but don't want to say it. I was about to say that you should roll a joint, but
well, that's a good answer.
It's a option.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's an option, but absolutely. I have those days too. Like I have days, let's say. Always, life brings always surprises, and sometimes good, sometimes bad. I have lost a lot of people from my life and experienced a lot of, not good things, and they have created, a person out of me who doesn't, I'm not nowadays if something bad happens, I'm more like, I'm not, solving the problems with emotions anymore. I'm more like a guy who, okay, this happened, what we should do next? Should we, let's say I have a bad day, should I stay at home? Or is it better to me to go outside, get some fresh air and walk, maybe do a food or something? Then I'm like, if we put these two options on the table, I'd rather take this one if I want to be wise and not react by my emotions, but what is best for me. And then suddenly it's over, the bad feeling. Everybody has a bad moments, but that's the beauty of life. That's how you should think about it, like how boring the life would be if it would be just like this. You have to go away from the line and come back always, experience, come back. This is one opportunity to be here, and every time you have a bad day, just think how special you are still to be here and experience all this.
And how about injuries? What's your approach to that if you met?
Well, 25 years. I had, so they operate my arm from here. So my cousin suplexed me when I was 7, 8, and I put my arm like this, so I broke the bone from here, but that was 23 years ago, okay? This one I broke in a fight because I didn't know how to throw punches and didn't wrap my hands properly. Okay. And that's it. That's my injuries. Okay. And I say, well, the guy who heel hooked me, I don't know what happened, but when he went all to the end, the ankle was like huge.
Yeah.
But after a few months, I was still able to walk, and guess I was, in a good shape and young, everything. I still feel something in my knee, but not like it's not bothering me at all, and everything feels like it's okay. But if we don't think about that, only 2 injuries, and I think one of the biggest reasons why I don't have injuries is that if I go hard, really hard, I always know who I'm going with. You understand? I trust my partner, and and I know that this guy can roll too, and I feel safe with him. And usually when training is about to, end, I always kind of, disappear from the mat. You understand? I'm like, because I know that everybody's tired, and when you are tired, you do crazy things, but you're not there. You're not. Coach says, last 10 seconds. Now people think 10 seconds. We have to do something.
Push.
Yeah. And usually the injuries comes in the end, and I'm always like, whenever they say like. And I'm really cautious, like with headbutts and elbows and knees, to not happen these. Because even with the sparring, I don't like to, if we spar, I love to be more technical and calm, and come out from the cage as there was no sparring, no bruises, nothing, and then. I could do this tomorrow again. I can do still my evening run. I don't need to go home and have a headache. And, that's my style. I think that when you're calm and you're always focused, when you come here, there is no phone around you, bothering you. Don't take pictures. You're not, no distraction, you're there, you're focused, and then you always know what you're doing. But if my mind is somewhere else, something is bothering me, rather stay at home, solve whatever is in your head, minding this, and then once you feel that you are you, come back and work, but never should come like, if I don't feel good, I have a good day, I stay at home. Rather than coming here and forcing myself to do something that when I know I'm not in the mood. I'd rather do something to change my mood to positive mood, and then.
I like that. It's in a way, it's more quality versus quantity. It's more about making sure that you're really there in the moment when you're training, and not just training just because.
Yes, especially like I have this habit that when it's training, when I was a kid, I always wanted to do, like let's say you're a coach and I was a kid, you came to show me a technique to everybody. I paid so much attention because I wanted to make my coach happy by doing whatever he taught me. Like now, you teach me something, then we have rounds, and I do exactly what you showed me. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I always had this. I wanted the coach to be happy and proud of me, but it became a habit. So basically now, if they teach me something, I'm learning really fast. Like I adapt things like this, boom, I understand, oh, this is what he meant, and then I can, I think that's probably the key for me to be like, always, when I come here, I don't want to think about nothing else, just what's happening here. And I don't play around in the training, especially when I know everybody's going hard. I'm serious. Never, I don't want to talk to nobody. No pictures, no filming, and everything should be aside. And when the training is over, then everything else is welcome. But once I enter the gym, I like to, spend that time wisely. Because there's something you can't buy.
Yeah, I can see that. I want to see you. Even today, when you said in the beginning of the conversation that you're focused on the training and you don't want to deviate, I remembered all the moments I saw you in the gym, and I can agree. I mean, you always seem like you're focused. You're in your training. You're not.
I'm not
wandering anywhere.
I'm not. How can I say this? I'm not trying to be scary or anything. This is something that I don't do, trying to act something that I'm.
Yeah.
But some people said to me that why am I so serious? And it's not me being serious. I'm just,
Focused.
Yeah, and like I told you, the story behind that, why I'm so focused, I have built this since I was a kid. I was always listening, and I'm telling you, like, even today you teach me something in the same way. It doesn't matter, it's a flying armbar or anything. If I like the technique and I know that this might work, you teach me now when we do rounds, all I'm thinking about the new techniques, and I'm like doing it, and that's my style.
Yes. And the very last question that I like to ask every great fighter that I meet. So for a beginner fighter who's going on his career, what would be your main advice? Even if you would look back at yourself and you could change something in your career, how you trained, would there be one thing that you would change for the beginning of your training?
Well, yeah. If you don't think that your body is not a bin, you should then pay more attention of what you eat. This is something that only came along like in past few years, and I've been training all my life, and I know that having a good race car needs a good fuel, and you learn. That's the best thing is that it doesn't matter if you learn now, but at least you learned. You understand? Better late than never. And I think that if I could give some advices to somebody, it's like relax. Spend more hours, then don't be in a rush, don't hurry, and even MMA, like I said, there are fights, bloods coming and elbows, cutting faces and stuff like this, but still, this is a beautiful sport if you can, maintain the calmness and do things not by accident, you're thinking, you're there, and use the head guards. Use the head guards, even though doesn't matter how good you are, not punches towards the face that are not necessary. In a fight, what happens then, that's a fight, but taking punches to the head should be. Let's say me and you, we go we do 3 5-minute rounds. We go hard. You need those hard rounds too sometimes, but then it should be with the guy that you trust. You're not there to knock somebody out. You want that feeling that that you're dead. You want that feeling, but not like you're out. So we go there, we do 3 5-minute rounds hard. Kick me in the leg, bam, might hurt and stuff like this. But what if we do light, and instead of 3 5-minute rounds we do an hour, You understand? We do
Yeah.
12 5-minute rounds. What do you think? Which one has more benefits? You understand? If you're a beginner, if you want to spar till you're like you have done your. It shouldn't be like always,